What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the Everyday Witness. I know y'all are surprised to see me again two times in one day, but we had a little fun with it. So we got the one and only, the real young Johnny D, rapper himself, John Dunn. Man, it is a pleasure to have you on here, man.
What's up, man? Thanks for having me. This is gonna be fun.
In case y'all don't know, this is young Johnny D. For my ETBU guys, y'all probably been wondering what I've been listening to in the locker room. It's been this man. And now I finally got to meet him. So it's a real pleasure for me to have him on here today because he's been in my ear for the past 6 months now. And now I finally get to hang out with him, hoop with him a little bit. Silent point guard over here, if you didn't know. So, but anyways, John, why don't you guys give him a little background as to who you are?
All right. So like he said, I'm John, young Johnny D on musical platforms. You can find me everywhere. So I've been making music since I was 15. So about 5 years, okay? So I started my freshman year of high school. I'm still doing it. It's just now I do that and I work with kids. I'm involved in the kids ministry at our church right over here, First Baptist Concord. I work at this really cool place called Kids Connect that is out of First Baptist Concord. It's a after school daycare during the school year, and then we have summer, so I'm working there right now. During the summer it's 10-hour shifts for 4 days. Or you get 4 days of work. You can't work 5 because that's overtime, so you get 40 hours. So I work Monday through Thursday. I lead chapels there, and it's a blast, man. And on top of that, I still do make music, like I said. Every chance I get, I record. I actually started a little business since all the kids know me. I started a little business charging parents to make kids' birthday songs. So I do that. So if you have a kid that has a birthday coming up, hit me up because I'll make him a birthday song. Yeah.
You heard it here first, the young Johnny D. So, John, little background for you. You went to Concord for high school, didn't you?
I did. I started there in 4th grade, and I went there all the way until I graduated. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about how Concord is, not just as a church, but also kind of as a school as well.
Okay, so it's funny because I started going to church there in 1st grade. I was at Hardin Valley, which is a public school around here. And I actually was getting bullied as a kid at Hardin Valley. And so I told my mom, I was like, hey, I want to switch schools because this dude won't stop bothering me. And I just want a different scene, right? I don't want to be in this scenery anymore. So she was checking out another school called River's Edge. It's like a homeschool co-op. So you go to school, I think you go to school 2 days and the 3 days are homeschooled. And some of my friends actually went there that I know now, but she checked that out and then she checked Concord out, and she was like, you know what, I really feel led to send you guys to Concord. So me and my twin brother, if you don't know my brother, his name is Jacob, get to know him. He's a cool dude.
Insane dude.
He's a cool dude. So we went to Concord in 4th grade, and I met some really cool people. I knew some of them because I went to church there, and so they go to school there too. And so we went to school there 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. And in 7th grade, me and my brother tried out for the basketball team. And what's funny is me and my brother, we played in the church league here like all our lives, right? And we ran it. All right, we were the 2 best players in that church league. Like, I'm not even kidding. It was me, Jacob, and then one of our friends, Dallas, who actually plays college basketball at Johnson, and he's pretty good. So us three, we
shout
ran.
Out Johnson University.
Yeah, shout out Johnson University. Us 3, we ran that league. Okay, we were the best. I would get steals, give it to Jacob, and he would score points. All right, and so when we got into 7th grade and we were trying out for Concord, I was like, oh, this is going to be easy. Me and Jacob, we're going to start. We're going to be the 2 best players on the team, and we're going to run this league, and we're going to win a championship for him. Well, season comes rolling around, and Jacob, he's actually pretty good. He gets a starting position. He's actually one of our best players. I think our 7th grade year, he was the best player on our team. Saying that, we were playing middle school JV, but he was still like our best player, right? And so he was our best player, and then I was actually one of the worst players on the team in 7th grade. Me and then one of my best friends, his name is Brady. I haven't seen him in a while, but we were pretty much best friends going through middle school. And so we were like the worst 2 on the team. So we sat the bench every game. And actually, my role model was our coach. His name is Jason Zachary. He's the state representative here. One of my good buddies, Tyson, that's his son. So he coached us in 7th grade, and I was one of the worst players. And so we get done with that year, and we go into AAU, and I'm like, well, I'm not sitting the bench my 8th grade year. I'm going to actually get to work and try to be one of the best on the team. So I worked through the AAU season. Eventually got a starting position on our AAU team, which was just all our friends from Concord. And we made our own team called Conquest. And so we were on that team, and I worked a little bit, got a starting position there, and then eighth grade comes rolling around, and Jason Zachary, Coach Zachary at the time, saw that I was putting in work, so I ended up being sixth or seventh man, being a pretty good defender, right? Then we go into high school. It's our freshman year, and we get a new coach for the high school team. And he brings in some guys. Maybe that was our sophomore year, one of those years. I believe it was our freshman year, though. No, our freshman year, he didn't come yet. Our freshman year, it was still this guy named Scotty. And he coached my friend's older brother and his friends, all right? And so we get there. I play for the freshman team, and most of my friends are playing for the freshman team, right? We're rocking and rolling. Then our sophomore year hits, and we get a new coach. And he brings in some guys. He brings in 4 dudes, and then another guy from another school comes in to play with us. And 3 of the dudes were pretty good. They all went to go play college. One of them still killing it in college. The other 2 quit to follow other things. But so they come in, and we're like, oh, they're pretty good. They're going to help us. And so we get into the season. I'm playing, most of me and my friends are playing JV, which is fine, right? We're all playing JV and we're killing it. Junior year comes rolling around. He pulls some of them to varsity. I'm still on JV. And then halfway through that year, he was like, you've been working, you've been killing it, so I'm going to pull you up to varsity. So he pulls me up to varsity, and most of our friends, we sit the bench for varsity because, these guys are good. Like, they're pretty good, and they're helping us win. So, our junior year, we're pretty much sitting the bench the whole time. Some of us are getting a little bit of playing time here and there. Then our senior year rolls around, and we get a new coach. And actually, the coach we had in middle school, it's his brother. So Jason coached us in middle school, and then his brother comes and coaches us our senior year. And our senior year of basketball taught me a lot. So we go in. It's like preseason. And I'm not getting like any playing time we do this thing downtown. It's like a Rumble at the Rock, and a bunch of teams just come and play each other. And I'm not getting a lot of playing time. So I get a little discouraged. I'm like, dude, I don't want this senior year to be like my 7th grade year, right? And so then one of my friends, love him to death. His name's Caden. So Caden, if you're seeing this, love you, bro. But Caden is known to do some dumb things, okay? And our season rolls around after the preseason little thing, and he does something dumb like doesn't go to class or whatever, and he ended up getting detention. And so our coach was like, Caden, you can either, or this is Caden's version. Don't know if it's true. So Caden, you're gonna have to tell me, because this is what he told me. He told me that the coach came to him and was like, Caden, you either can go serve your detention and not start in our first game and not play, or you can skip detention and you can play. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't think a coach would tell you to skip detention if you have detention. But, that's for him to decide. That's for him to come out and tell me the truth and actually what happened. But, so, Caden ends up, like, skipping detention or something. And then our coach gets mad at him, so he doesn't play him. And so me and Caden, we're kind of similar players. He's a little better than me in skill, but we're both really quick, and we can both play pretty good defense. And so our coach was like, okay, I'll start you. And he knew me. He was like, I'll start you because I've seen you play, and you kind of play like Caden. Never said that, but that's what I think. So I start instead of Caden. So I started every game our senior year. And I think until our last game. I didn't start that game, but I played a lot. He just wanted to change something up for that last playoff game. But I start every game, and man, it was a wild ride. Like everyone, like pretty much everyone on our team senior year was getting hurt. Me and Jacob got hurt at the beginning of our senior year. We were both hurt. Like it was before any game, so I'm thankful for that. We both hurt our ankles before that, but man, we go in the season, we're playing pretty good, and like people are just dropping like flies, man. Like every game, someone's getting hurt. One of our best players was out because of grades, I think, at one point, and then he got hurt after that, after he could come back. And then so one of my, so our best player, his name was Noah. So Noah, if you're watching this, hey, Shout out to you, man. Noah Gilder, actually, he holds the most points scored at Concord in a game, which is 46 points. And so, yeah, so he scores that. And then there was a game after that. It was a home game. And so, people were getting hurt, right? And there was a game. We were fighting. We were battling hard. It was a really good game. Like, we were down pretty much the whole game. We were trying to fight back, right? It was one of those chippy games. And so Noah, our best player, he went to, I think he was diving for a loose ball or something, and he he does something to his ankle, like, and his ankle like busted out of his tape, and he falls on the ground, and we're like, oh no, Noah's hurt, like he's down, and so they get him up and they take him off the court. He's done for the rest of the game. He doesn't come back. And so at this point, we're like battling, trying to win without our best player. Like he was the guy on our team who could go get a bucket when we needed him to. He's a bucket getter. Like he was nice. He was a bucket getter. And so at that point, we're like, okay, we need to find something. Like we need to work as a team to get some buckets, because Noah could get buckets and he could get us the ball for buckets. Everyone played better around Noah. He was one of those type of players. We all played better around him. And so I think we ended up losing that game, but we battled hard. And then the next day at practice was when we find out that Noah couldn't play pretty much the rest of the season, or that's what we thought. That's what they thought. And so we get into the locker room, like our coach calls us into the locker room, and he starts talking about how the season's been hard. Everyone's getting hurt. Noah, he got hurt, and Noah felt really bad because he got hurt. But our coach has this very like sentimental moment with us, and I remember it because it was the first time I've ever seen him cry, and which was weird because he would get really mad. Like him and his brother, like they're passionate about coaching, and so when they would coach us, they would like scream and get really mad. So I've never seen. So this was the first time I seen Coach Justin cry, and he's telling us, hey, it's been hard, and that's what life is about. Like, life is hard, man, but you just got to get up and fight through it, right? And so he's like, of course, we don't have Noah, right? But that's just something that this team is going to have to find out, like, hey, what are we going to do? He said, his quote was, through the midst of adversity, what was it? It was like, through the midst of adversity, like, lies opportunity. That's what it was. Through the midst of adversity, lies opportunity. Right, yes, that's what it was. So he was like, this is just an opportunity for all of you who don't score the ball as much, who don't play as much. Show me what you can do, right? And so that's exactly what we did. We went out and we battled. And this is where one of my favorite stories comes in from that season. So we're playing our rival.
This is what we like to hear.
Yeah, we're playing our rival, CAK. So there was like a three-way rival between us, CAK, and Grace. And Grace was actually where Noah scored 46 points. It was our homecoming game, and we ended up losing, but it was a fun game. We battled hard. Trash talk, everything. Like, it was crazy.
Love it.
But so Noah's hurt, right? We're playing CAK. It's our rival. And so this game, it was personal for me. I'm not going to lie, because the first time that we played CAK, there was a kid, I was going up for a rebound, and he just comes in, decks me. And so, like, lowers his shoulder, decks me, all right? And so this game, it was personal for me. I'm like, I'm not letting them win this game. Like, it's our home court. Noah's hurt. Like, we're going to win it for Noah, and we're going to win it for Concord. Because since this is a rivalry game, the student section is going to be packed out, all right? And so I come in, right, it's like first, like, 30 seconds, minute to the game. And a kid from CAK is going to he gets a fast break, and I run down, wall up, no foul. He lays it up, misses. We get the rebound, go the other way. So I'm running back, or he shoves me after that, and so he runs back, and I run back after, and I'm like thinking in my head, well, I'm not gonna shove him. It's too early in the game. But I get up in his face. I'm like, hey man, do that again. Just do it again and see what happens. So he pushes me again. And they start blowing whistles, and I'm clapping. Like, I don't go back at him, but I'm clapping because I'm like, oh, man. Like, I'm in this dude's head already, and it's like 2 minutes in the game.
That's that rivalry match, man, I'm telling you.
Oh, man. Like, I was going at this kid all game. And so, so that happens, and we thought it was a timeout, but they're just blowing whistles. So everyone's going to their bench. But they're just blowing whistles to try to de-escalate it. But, like, I didn't shove him or anything. I just got in his face. I said, hey, do it again, man. See what happens. Because I have all my teammates behind me like having my back. And so we're getting in the game. It's chippy. I think I came down and banked in a three like right after that. So this was a game that I didn't really score much, but I did other things. Because a few games before that, I like hurt my side right here diving for a ball, and so I was still trying to recover from that. I was all good. I was just trying to recover from that. It hurt still a little, and so we're playing in this game. It's getting chippy, and it comes down to the last few minutes of the game. And so Caden Geen at this point, he was starting. The little kid who plays defense like me. Me and him are starting. We're getting steals, right? He ends up fouling out because he was battling like, and I won't lie, like 2 of the fouls that they called on him, they weren't fouls. They were ticky tacky. And so he fouls out. And at this point, I was sitting on the bench because I was getting a breather, and coach was like, "Hey, go get Caden. He just fouled out." So I'm walking on. Caden grabs me. This is the type of love me and Caden have for each other. He grabs me. He goes, "Don't mess it up." like I'm telling you, we're close like that. He can tell me something like that. So he grabs me. He goes, "You better not mess this up. Like we have to win this game. You better not mess it up." And so in my mind, I'm like, all right. So I've got to step up because Caden's out and Noah's out. So I've got to step up. Of course, I have my teammates around me who can help me, right? Jacob, our senior year, Jacob was the everything but scoring player. So he could do everything but score. And my
Board
coach,
man, everything.
yes, and my coach was like so aggravated by that because he knew he could. It was just like, I don't know, Jacob just lost his confidence in scoring our senior year, but he did everything else. So Jacob, I applaud you for that because you did everything else. And so it gets down to it. It's a 3-point game. We're up by 3. They get a bucket. So we're up by 1 at this point, I think. We're up by 1 or 2 or something like that. And so they bring it down. Their best player, Luke Carter, he actually plays at somewhere in college. I don't know. But he's their best player. He passes it. And actually before this, we played man like all year. And our coach called a timeout. He's like, we're going to switch it. We're going to run a 2-3 on him. Or maybe it was a 1-3-1, something zone, right? Just to switch it up because they're over there planning on us playing man. So let's throw something else at them. And so, we're in a 2-3, and I'm like, okay, I'm like, I'm quick enough to jump this pass or jump a pass if it happens. Because even if I don't get it, I'm quick enough to get back. And I think they're going for a 3. I think that's what they were going to go for. And so Luke, who was our best player, he brings it down, passes to this other kid. And I can see that this kid does not want the ball. All right, he doesn't want it. Like, it's clutch time. He does not want the ball. He wants to get it back to Luke. And so I'm baiting him into throwing it to Luke. He passes to Luke. I take it, steal it, get us a bucket. We're up by 3. Okay. There's like 40-something seconds left. And so they get it in, and they had this really tall player who could shoot. So they try to get it into him, and we're like, just don't jump. He shoots the ball. Actually, I believe there was like way less than 40 seconds because he shot it. But he shoots the ball, and one of my teammates fouls him on a 3. Best 3-point player on their team.
Oh gosh.
And so we're all like, oh my gosh, like why would you foul him? And so I'm standing at the student section. The student section is where we were scoring the second half. So near our bench, across from our bench, other side. And so I'm standing there just like bending down like, oh my gosh, like what did we get ourselves into? He shoots the first free throw and misses it. And the student section is going wild. And so I get up, I'm like, let's go, like get loud. And so makes the next 2, we're up by 1. We get it into my brother, they foul him. He hits 2 free throws and
Back up by 3.
Yeah, back up by 3.
Yep.
They try to get it in, get a bucket, they can't. And so that's one of the moments I remember feeling like, man, I just helped us win a game. Like it was crazy.
Those are the moments you remember the rest of your
I was
life.
literally talking to my coach the other day because I saw him at the 4th of July parade. And I was telling him, I think my best moment was that, remember when I hit that like side fade in 3 with like 6 seconds left to put us down by 3? And he was like, no, man, your best moment that year was when you stole it and gave us that win for CAK. So it made me feel like, hey, like I helped us win a game. Like it was crazy. It was pretty cool. And so we get through the rest of that season. Noah actually came back on our senior night to play. And we ended up losing that game. But man, that season taught me a lot. Because we just went through so much, like as a team, and as friends. we go back and talk about it all the time, like not trying to like be like those super seniors trying to relive it, but like it just taught us a lot, man. Like fight, like life is hard, and we just got to fight through it. And so yeah, that was one thing I remember sports wise anyway from life. Yeah, so definitely shaped me.
You said it taught y'all a lot. What were some of like the big takeaways for you, just not only as a person but also as a Christian? Like, what were some big takeaways from that season that you felt like God was teaching you through that?
So yeah, so his quote, so the through adversity lies opportunity. And I can talk about the opportunities in a little bit as we talk, but that's the big thing. Like God's going to give you opportunities through life, and I learned that going through that year because I was always the one who wouldn't get much playing time, but when I did, I would work as hard as I could to show people, hey, like I'm gonna get in here and show you that I can do my best. So when that opportunity came, I when that opportunity came, I made the most of it. Like through I think like halfway through the season when Noah got hurt, Justin actually made me a team captain. Since Noah couldn't be on the court, so it was me and my brother. We were the team captains of the like halfway through the season. It was Jacob and Noah, and then once Noah got hurt, he came to me and he was like, "You work hard and like you hustle and you're on the floor all the time. So I'm gonna make you a team captain and you can help lead this team." And so I actually when he did that, I texted our JV coach because our JV coach was one of the best coaches I ever had. His name was Coach Holt, and he changed the way I played basketball. Like he made me into a better player. And so like through my basketball journey, he's one that I thank. And so Coach Holt, if you ever see this, man, you made me to the basketball player that I am.
Shout out, Coach.
But so he coached us when I was on JV my sophomore and junior year. It was probably the most fun I've ever had playing basketball. But I actually texted him. I was like, "Man, Coach Holt, like I just got made a team captain. It's all because of you. Like, thank you for pushing me and getting me to my best." And he didn't just make me a better basketball player; like he made us better men as well, just by the way he lived. And so, yeah, and so through that opportunity of me being a team captain, getting to lead the floor a little bit, taught me that like God's gonna open doors and give you guys opportunities or give you opportunities, and you just need to take them. Like don't take it for granted. Like if he gives you an opportunity, you go for it, man. Like that's one thing that I've been seeing after I graduated high school because there's been many opportunities, and I could talk about those. But there's been many opportunities that he's given me uh, throughout the kids I know, just being in the kids ministry, working at Kids Connect, and through music too. So I can talk about what opportunities lie in both of those for those. But yeah, opportunities. If he gives you them, go take them, man. Go take them.
Well, you kind of already made my segue for me, but like, what are some of these opportunities?
Yeah.
I know obviously your music, but like, you can start wherever you like. But like,
Okay,
what are
yeah.
some of these opportunities
So-
that God's kind of been opening for you?
So I'll talk about music first, and then I'll go talk about the kids ministry and Kids Connect stuff. So music wise, right? So I started when I was 15, like I said, and you know I wasn't really that fantastic. You know, I had to work at it and like figure out things that work for me, right? And so I wasn't fantastic at it at first. I actually started recording with an Xbox mic on my phone, and so that was a weird time. I had like I would rap about like I would it was Christian rap, but I would throw in these weird bars, like weird filler bars to like.
Can you give us one of
So,
these weird
like
bars?
no joke, guys. I have a line in a song that says "rapping because I'm black." I just had these weird. Like there was one where I was talking about how I would hit the devil with a lawn chair. Like I just I just had these weird. I just had these weird filler bars because I just wasn't there yet. But all my friends found it hilarious, and so yeah. So I've been working since I was 15. At that. So I got to I think like my first like big opportunity. Well, let's back up a little bit. A year after I started music, was actually when I got into kids ministry. And so this is actually the kids ministry actually helped a little bit in my music because when I went into the kids ministry, it was one of my best friend's moms. Her name's Missy. I actually call her my second mother because I'm with her like all the time.
Shout out Team Missy.
Yeah, shout out Team Missy. She's like my second mom. I'm with her. I'm with her all the time. And so Missy actually is the director and runs like the creative side of the kids ministry over at the church. And so she like puts on these skits. Like they're amazing. Like I saw them when I was a little kid. Going into the kids ministry, and then I got to the opportunity to actually like act in those skits for the kids, and I could talk about that too. But so Missy is the creative person around that, and so around COVID, they like couldn't do it like for the kids, so they would film it in this little room over here with the green screen and everything is cool. And so my mom was like, "Hey, you should help Missy with the kids ministry stuff. Like they're shooting for this skit and they need extras." And I was like, "Mom, I don't think I want to hang around like kids all the time and like act on stage. I don't want to do that." And she was like, "You should give it a try." And I was like, "No." And so a few days go by, and my mom talks to me about it again. I was like, "Okay, I'll give it a try. And so I go there, and I give it a try. It's great. But the first day I was there, I actually met Micah. And if y'all don't know Micah, he makes music with me. Great guy.
Shout out Micah himself.
And so it was actually, so the first day we met, it was doing the acting stuff on screen. He actually, his passion is acting. So I don't know where rapping will go for him because his passion is acting. He's really great at it.
Oh yeah.
He just got back from an acting like intensive thing where he learns more about acting. It was in North Carolina. He was there for 3 weeks. So I don't know how rapping is going to be for us in the future. I plan on, if he does want to not do it anymore, I plan on making one more project with him before he's
run it back.
before he's done, and I'm getting one more concert with him planned right now. I'm trying. So so I don't know where rapping will go for him. I'll talk to him about it, but at least one more concert and at least one more project from both of us. If he doesn't. But so I met Micah, and so we get done shooting. It took us a couple hours. Because they don't remember lines, and we have these funny parts that we're laughing on camera. So it takes a few hours. Then we decide with the crew, hey, let's go to Sonic. So we go to Sonic, and that's where Micah figured out that I make music. Was when we went to Sonic. He was like, "You make music? That's so cool!" And I was like, "Yeah, I've been doing it for about a year." He starts listening to it, and then a few days go by. We go to church, and he sees me. He goes, "Hey, let me on a song." And I'm like, I don't know. Like, you're just some random kid I met a couple days ago. I don't know, man. But
the kid rap.
But, man, like, Micah, he was persistent. He kept asking. He's a persistent dude. He kept asking. I'm like, you know what? What the heck? Why not? So I let him on a song. Our first song, it was Walk In. And ever since then, like, so we made that, and then I was making an album at the time, not my best album, because it was still like a year in. But I got him on 3 of those songs, and then we make another song called "Can't Stop Us." And I was like, Michael, we should get a music video for this one. Like, we should shoot a music video. So there's one opportunity very young from our music. And so we shot a music video. We actually shot it at the church right here. Some of it at the church. We shot some of it downtown. It was pretty cool. And we actually paid some guy on Fiverr to edit it all. It was like $288. And so we do that. And then Micah actually got like a really cool setup for music. And so we start making music pretty frequently. There was a time where we did it like every Sunday after church. I would go to his house. He lived kind of far away, so I would ride with him and his mom to his house, and then they moved closer, and he took the setup with him, and then so I think it was 2020, my junior year, so I think 2021 if I'm not mistaken, maybe 2022, we get the idea to make a collab album, and so we're thinking about different ideas. I came up with we should call it Brothers, and the album cover could be like the two of us doing something cool. And then his dad, Jamie, real cool guy, he was like, hey, what if y'all like do this concept of colorblind, because you're black and Micah's white, and like the concept is we don't see color. Like we see people for who they are and who God made them to be. And so that was the concept. And so me and Michael looked at each other. We were like, that's a pretty cool concept. And so we took that concept and we brought it to life. So the first song in the album is one of my favorite songs that me and him have made. It's called Colorblind, and it's all about seeing people for who they truly are and for who God made them to be. Because like like I won't say like personally, like I've never felt as a black guy, I've never felt like different or casted away, for a better term, from by other people. But sadly, there are other black people in the world who feel like that and who people treat them very terribly, right? And so Colorblind is one of my favorite songs because we just talk about how God made everybody in His image, and it's okay if you're black and you have a white friend, or if you're white and you have a black friend, or you have other friends who are other ethnicities, right? And so we took that, and so the original plan was to have 12 songs in it. And so we were picking songs. We actually had we had 32 different cuts from the album. Like we cut it down to 10, and 32 of those songs didn't make the cut. And so whether that's we picked a beat and we just didn't like it, or we wrote a song and we just didn't like it, there were 32 of those, and we came down to the 10 best ones that we could have had. And so we made that. It took us way longer than it should have. It took us like a year to make. But we got it out. And so then we keep making music. And then I believe it was my senior year. No, it wasn't my senior year because I was working at Kids Connect. So it was the year after I graduated. Or that it was that summer actually. That summer I graduated. Yeah, it was that summer I graduated. I get a DM on Instagram from a guy who also does music, and he's like just asking me like how I started. He thinks my music is good, and he's like, "Hey, like I'm having an event at Florida State, and I would like you to come perform at it." He's like, "It's $250 since you're an opener, but it's a really cool experience." And so I get to thinking, I was like, "Okay." I was like, "Hey, can I bring my friend Mikey? He makes music with me too." And so he was like, "Yeah, send me his stuff." So I send it to him. He's like, "Yes, bring Micah. Like he's pretty good too." And so this is another big opportunity. And uh, so I talked to my parents. We talked to his parents, and at first they were like, "Ooh, I don't know. Like, is it a scam? Because like it could be a scam." I was like, "I don't know, man. Like, it seemed pretty legit." And so he's like, "Okay." So my parents were like, "Okay, we'll drive you, and we'll meet Micah there." So it we do that. It was in like so I got that text during the summer, and so we go through that year, and the event was actually in February. So we go all the way the rest of that year, and then it was in February. And so it was a cool experience, man. So we were openers because they had like other artists who were bigger, who were like the main thing. And so we do that. I think me and Michael were like second or third, but man, that crowd changed when me and Micah went out there. Like, I don't want to brag, but I think like me and Micah, we have I think we have a gift of like crowd control. Like we can get a crowd involved, and obviously it worked because like everyone there was saying that me and Micah were like one of the best openers there. Um, and they actually invited us back a couple months ago. And this time I didn't have to pay because they were like, "You guys did so good that we're willing to invite you back." So we got invited back. Micah couldn't go because he had baseball, but I was like, "I'll still go." Um, and this year it was really cool because I met a lot of cool artists who are like some of them are like kind of underground and some of them are a little more well known. But I met a lot of cool artists through that, and I got to hear a lot of stories of how God can use them. Um, and there was like I went out there, killed it. I did a couple songs, and there was actually a group there who weren't artists. They were like it was like a dance group. It was like a dance ministry. Um, and after I went, I went backstage, and the main dude, his name's Kevin. He was like, "Hey, don't forget to give me your Instagram before you leave, so we can keep in touch." And so there's probably an opportunity there. Um, Man, there's been a lot of opportunities. Um, so, um, So um, with the music, I've had a lot of opportunities with kids, which I work with, right? And so once the kids found out that I make music or that I made music, it was like I'm a celebrity or something. Like I don't mean to brag, but like I can't walk through the church without a kid knowing who I am, and it's crazy because like some of like I don't know some of them, but it's cool that they know me. And so like I have a passion for sharing Jesus to kids. Like that's my passion. Like I love music and I coach a basketball team with my brother too. I love that. But I think my real passion and my calling is to teach kids about Jesus. And so kind of where that started, and I can tell you all a little about that. Kind of where that started. So at this Kids Connect place I work, when I first started, there was a girl named Alyssa, and she did chapel. I thought she was pretty cool. She would get me involved in chapel sometimes because she knew that the kids would like find it funny if I was on stage, right? And so she did that. And then so that was my first summer. We get into the school year, and we get like halfway through that school year, and Alyssa says she gets a new job. She's got another job. Um, and she kind of like when she mentioned it, she like low key like kind of left unexpectedly, but like she still like said bye. Like it was kind of one of those unexpected buys, where she didn't really like tell us she was leaving, but she like did in a way, kind of. But like a couple weeks before when she told us, we were all in the office, and I was like, well, who's gonna run chapel now? Like we don't have anyone to run chapel. And Alyssa was like, yeah, we do. And I was like, who? And she was like, you can run chapel. And I was like,
You weren't expecting that, were you?
I wasn't expecting it. And so there was another opportunity. And so I was like, okay, I think I run chapel. So I run it for the rest of that school year. And I'm not gonna lie, the first chapel I did, I felt like I did horrible. Like I felt like I did so bad. But it was kind of a thing where I kind of had to get better at it. And try to learn how to teach kids because kids have a low attention span. So you have to like,
They're like me.
yeah, you have to have like some energy, right? Like you have to make them
absolutely.
you have to make them like engaged. And so we get through that, and then we start rolling into the summer. And it was a few weeks before summer. And my boss called me in, and she was like, "Hey, what do you want like the main like the chapel to be about this summer?" And let me tell you, like summer chapels are way easier to plan than school year chapels because during like the school year, and I'm sure like Paxton knows like this type of thing because they do it over in the student ministry. Like during the school year, you kind of have to have like different series to like go with what you want to teach. Because there's just so many days in a school year, as opposed to in the summer it's only like 10 weeks,
You
and
can
so
just
you
do
can
one or
and
two
so you
instead
can
of
have
just like 10.
like you can have like one main theme in the summer rather than the school year.
Absolutely.
And so that was last summer. So last summer, I decided we should make the theme um based off of Matthew 28:19. Go therefore and make disciples, baptizing them in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Great Commission.
Yeah. So and because we were very mission based last summer, and so we wanted to say, hey, go make disciples, like go tell people about Jesus, right? And so I had a great chapel team, because like during the school year I pretty much run chapel by myself, because we just don't have like a lot of instructors. As opposed to in the summer, we have to have a lot of instructors, so I can pull some of them to be a part of my chapel team. And so last summer I had a great chapel team. I had one instructor who would speak at every chapel, one to do like lights and stuff. I had people in skits, like it was great. And so we had little passports, because the idea was, oh, we're like flying to different places, so we can give all the kids passports with Bible verses in them, and they can memorize them. So that was what we did that summer. It was great, and so we come back, get through. So this last school year, I did a bunch of different series. It was awesome. I did like a lights, camera, action series where I would pull biblical messages out of kids movies, and so they really liked that. And so then we get through this school year, and she calls me in again, and she's like, "Hey, what do you want this summer to be?" And I was like, "Dude, like I don't know. Like last summer was pretty great with the go therefore, and like I don't know like what we can do." And she was like, and I was like, what's CQ about this year? And CQ, if y'all don't know, is VBS, Vacation Bible School. And I was like,
We
so
love CQ.
yeah. And so like I was like, what's CQ? What's CQ about? And she was like, oh, let me look. And so she looks, and it's Wonder Junction, like
Yep.
like learning about God, like wondering, right?
Yep.
And so I was like, okay, what if we find different wonders of the Bible and do a different wonder every week? And she was like, ooh, I like that. So for example, we've done like the wonder of the Trinity and like the wonder of creation. And like this week, this week, so this Monday we'll do the wonder of the Spirit. So I'm going to talk about the Holy Spirit and what that is. And so she was like, that's great. We need 11 wonders for the 11 different weeks. And I was like, okay. So we come up with 11 different wonders, and that's kind of what we've been doing. But yeah, so like the passion of just teaching kids about Jesus, man, like it's something different. Like I found happiness in doing that. Like so all the camps that we do for the church, I went to all three. I went to Wild Week, I went to Beach Week, and I went to Camp 45.
He did the whole trinity of beach weeks,
like
or the whole trinity of camps.
All three of them. And so Wild Week was fantastic. It's honestly my favorite camp because
Oh yeah.
it's honestly my favorite camp. We have tons of fun. But most importantly, we get to teach kids, like middle school kids, and middle school kids it's a weird age. It's a weird age.
Especially now.
Oh yeah, it's a weird age. And so that was cool. I got to teach them about Jesus. Then we went to Beach Week, and we did high school. So that's high school. That one was fun too. A lot of kids got baptized, all that cool stuff. Then I packed it up and went to Camp 45.
Yep.
So that's 4th and 5th grade. That's like 4th and 5th graders are like my range of kids.
Preteens.
Like that's who I feel I can reach the most. 4th, 5th, 6th, you name it. And that one was pretty cool because like some of my 3rd and 4th graders from Kids Connect pulled up to Camp 45. And like that group, man, like those. So I have for the summer for Kids Connect, I'm in the 4th grade class. Like I'm a 4th grade instructor, and man, those 4th graders, like they like I love all the kids at Kids Connect, but those 4th graders, man, I've been with them since 2nd grade, and they mean the world to me, man. Like it's a good group of kids. Like if I could adopt all 25 of them, I would. Like I would make them all of my kids in a heartbeat. And like I don't know, like they love me, and I don't know if their parents know like how much I love them and how much they mean to me. But if y'all are watching this, kid, parent, like I just want y'all to know, like that 4th grade group right there, like they mean the world to me. Like like I don't know if they know how much I love them to the degree of how much I love them. I know they love me because there was at the 4th of July parade. Now, one of my kids was actually walking in the parade, and she's gonna hate that I told this story. So Harper, if you see this, I'm telling this because I love you. And it was a special moment. It made me feel good. So 4th grade. This is a story about Harper. But she told me a couple days before. She was like, hey, I'm walking in the parade too. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And I was like, if I get the chance, I'll come say hi. And she was like, what number float are you? I was like, oh, I have no idea. I'm walking with Jason Zachary, like Tyson's dad, Mr. Tyson's dad. So I don't know what float number he is. So she went to go ask him. He was like, oh, I don't know. And so she was like, I'm float 74. So if you want to come say hi, come say hi. And I was like, okay, I'll try to come say hi. I get there and we're float 10. We're float number 10. And I was like, dude, we can't journey all the way to float 74. That's like all the way over there. And so we're yapping it up, talking, and out of the corner of my eye, I see Harper running up to our float. And I was like, Harper, like, yo, what are you doing here? And she was like, oh, I wanted to come say hi. And her friend was with her. She's not a Kids Connect kid, but I recognized her because her friend was at Camp 45. And she was like, dude, Harper asked like 6 people how to find you guys. And Harper was like, it was only like 3. And she was like, no, you're forgetting like the 2 older ladies that you asked after those people. And she goes, okay, 5 people. And so, I was like, you asked all those people to come talk to us? And she was like, yeah. And so I was like, okay, so I know how much these kids love me and Jacob and love us, but I don't know if they know how much we love them. So if y'all are watching this, which I'm probably going to tell them about it anyway,
Go for it.
because like I love them, so they'll probably watch it. So if y'all do watch it, just know that I love y'all. Y'all are great. And so that group I've seen spiritual growth in a lot of the past 2 years of knowing them. There's a few kids that I will say that like I've seen bigger than others, and that's okay because they're fourth graders. And so like I've seen spiritual growth, and so like I was literally thinking the other day, I think that's why God hasn't called me away from there yet, because there's still a little bit of work for me to do there with, and it's not just the fourth graders. It's like around like all of those classes. I've seen spiritual growth in a lot of them. There was one who went to Camp 45 and he told his mom that he felt, it was a third grader. He said that he felt God calling him to something. He just doesn't know what yet. And so like, that's why I feel like I'm there to help them figure this stuff out. And so, yeah, man, like just being around all of them. And then like on top of Kids Connect, I serve in the kids ministry at Concord. And that's a fun time. Like me and Jacob lead a small group of seventh graders in the morning at like 9, and then at 10:30 we go over to this thing called Rev, which is just a kids ministry, and we put on skits for the kids. There's Bible stories, and so I've been my fair share of different types of characters. I've been villains, I've been animals, I've been good guys, I've been high schoolers. So like there's just different types of characters that we've done, just so the kids can understand things, and understand like the Bible stories we're telling them. But man, like um, I've felt a huge calling towards kids ministry. Like this summer has helped me figure that out a lot, because I've been at all those camps, and so like it's helped me figure out like, hey, I think this is where and what Jesus wants you to do with your life. And I've been thinking like, if I could do this the rest of my life, like I think I'm doing what He wants me to do, because I believe that kids are some of the most important people to pour into about Jesus and all of this stuff, because we are essentially raising up the next generation. And if we can raise them up with this Jesus knowing and this like whole religion, I won't say it's more of a relationship with God, right? The relationship with God, right? Then they can share that to other people. And that's what my fourth graders are trying to do. Most of them go to a public school. And actually, that public school is my group during the school year, which is why I love them so much, because I'm with them year round. Like I'm with them during the school year and I'm with them during the summer. And so I'm with them year round. So even though they do get on my nerves sometimes, I believe that this group is special, which is why I talk about them a lot. Like if you're around me and we get on the topic of like what I do, like I promise you my fourth graders will come up in conversation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because they are fantastic, and they're trying to get this whole Jesus thing and sharing the gospel and whatnot. And so yeah, man, like I try to encourage kids. Hey, just go share the love of Jesus with somebody. Like you don't know what they're going through, just go share the love of Jesus with them. We were doing devotion in our class the other day, and there was a kid who was saying that he got in trouble for sharing Jesus, because he goes to a public school, and he got in trouble for it. He got like his blue card signed or whatever, and so they were asking me, how are we supposed to share Jesus and like at school if we're gonna get in trouble? And so I was telling them, I was like, hey, like that's one of the ways that the enemy will try to discourage you. Like one of my life verses is John 10:10. The thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy, but I've come so that you can have life and have it abundantly. And the reason that that's my life verse is because when I was in middle school and high school, Jason Zachary, coming up again, he was our small group leader, and he would bring that verse up every Sunday. Like it was an every Sunday thing. He would bring that verse up, and so I was telling him like, hey, like that's one of the ways that the enemy is gonna discourage you. Like he only comes to steal, kill, and destroy, right? Like he's not gonna give you what you want, to a degree, but he's gonna try to pick apart at you. And if he sees that you getting in trouble is gonna discourage you from sharing about Jesus, then that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna get you in trouble and discourage you. Like that's what he's here to do. And so they're all like, "But I'm gonna get in trouble. But I'm gonna get in trouble." Okay, well, that's just the way that the devil's gonna stop you. Like, go share Jesus anyway. Like in the Bible, there were people who were sharing about Jesus and literally like getting killed about for it, right? Like, if the worst that's gonna happen from you sharing Jesus is getting your blue card signed, why not do it? Like, tell people about Jesus. They don't like there was one of my fourth grade girls. Her name is Olivia, and she there was a kid asking her about Jesus, and she was telling him about it, and she said that she's been talking about it to him for like a few weeks. And I was like, Olivia, that's fantastic. Like, just keep doing you, keep planting the seed, right? The only thing you can do is plant the seed. Like, we can't save people. We're not called to save people. We're only called to plant the seed and tell people about Jesus. If you can plant the seed, then you're doing what you need to do. Um, and so just teaching kids about Jesus and getting to talk to them and hearing their stories, um, I've felt the call for it. And actually, while we were at Camp 45, this is probably one of the biggest opportunities I've had ministry wise, other than getting to lead chapel at Kids Connect. Um, we were at Camp 45, and one of the leaders, well, she's like the admin at in the kids ministry, and she looked at me one of the days at Camp 45. She was like, "Hey, when are you gonna come intern for us?" And I was like,
You talking about Olivia?
"Yeah, Olivia, yeah." She looked at me. She's like, "When are you gonna come intern for us?" And I was like, "What?" She was like, "When are you gonna come intern for us?" And I was like, I didn't even know. I didn't even know that was a thing. Like
Dude, come on.
the only intern y'all have had is Ashlyn, and that was like for just one summer. And she was like, "Yeah, but you could come do it during the school year." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So it got me thinking. And so I think that was the second day at Camp 45. And that night we were getting our kids to bed, and I texted her. I was like, "Is this intern thing like an actual thing? Like, is that something I can do?" Because it got me interested. And she was like, "Yeah, you could do it during the school year." And she was like, "Talk to Chet, who's the kids pastor, or Jason, or John Mark, or Marianne, or any of them. Just talk to them and see what it is." And I was like, "Okay." And so we come home from Camp 45. I get off the bus, and I'm saying bye to all the kids, giving me hugs and whatnot. And I see Chet, and I was like, "Okay, I'll go say bye to Chet before we leave." And he was just thanking me for coming to Camp 45 and pouring in the kids. And he was like, "Hey, word around the street is that you're interested in interning for us." And I was like, "Okay, like that can't just be me at this point, right? Like that's got to be a God thing. Like there's no way two people have mentioned that to me." And so like especially the kids pastor now, like the children's pastor mentioned it to me. And I was like, "Okay." So I was like, "Yeah, I would love to talk about it. Like I want to talk about it." Because I'm definitely interested. And so he was like, "Okay, text me and we'll try to talk about it." And it's kind of cool because like all the people that we went to camp with, like as leaders who were our friends, we talk about how we're all called to ministry. We just don't know to what degree yet. And it's very evident because they're all like, "John, you're gonna be a kids pastor. Like there's no escaping that. Like you're gonna do something with kids. It's probably gonna be a kids pastor." Now I don't know if it's a kids pastor or like what I'm gonna be doing. I feel a strong calling towards that though, but they're like, "Hey, like you're probably gonna be a kids pastor. Like that's what God made you to do." And I'm like, and just like hearing it from multiple people, like I think that's an area of where God wants me. It's either that, like it's between two things, because it's either that or maybe being the director of Kids Connect, because right now Kids Connect is my ministry, and I feel strongly called to that. And so I don't know if being the director of Kids Connect is in my future. It'd be cool too because I can still share the love of Jesus to kids, right? Like I don't care what I'm doing in the future as long as I get to share Jesus with kids. Like that's my passion. And so I text Chet, who's the children's pastor. I'm like, "Hey, let's meet at some point about it." So we actually met yesterday about it.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, we met yesterday about it. And he was asking me like, "Hey, like, when did you feel called to ministry and whatnot?" So I was telling him, I felt a strong calling. Um, like my passion began after I took over chapel at Kids Connect. That is the moment, like doing chapels. That is the moment where I was like, I want to do this
Because
for
you
a
got to
living.
see God consistently
Mhm.
through that.
Yes, I've seen God consistently through that, and it's been hard, but like the easiest way I've found to do it and what works for me is I actually pick up on how Chet preaches to kids. Who's the kids pastor, like I said. The way he preaches to kids, he has like a method. And I've picked it up. I don't know if he knows that I've picked it up, and I don't know if he knows he does it like this, but I picked it up. So what he does is he has a lot of energy. That's the first thing. He has a lot of energy because if you don't have energy, kids aren't going to tune in. All right. So he has a lot of energy. Um, and then what he does is he has slides and pictures because kids are visual learners. And I feel like there's no kid that's not a visual learner. I think they have to have something in front of them to learn, right? So he's got pictures, whether that's a funny picture or just like a word up there, right? And so I started doing that. The third thing he does is he always brings up like a kid or a leader to act out something for the kids to see. And so I've kind of done that in Kids Connect with like a big skit. So I have skits. Last year's skit was pretty cool because it was me, Micah, Chet's son, and then one of our other friends. And that one was fun because we had like goofy fight scenes and running around and stuff. And so like get some of that. And then like the big thing is he always uses not just one scripture to preach on. He uses different scriptures throughout the Bible and different Bible stories to go along with what he's doing. And so that's what I've tried to do. That's what kind of works for me because like if you can't get kids engaged, then they're not going to listen, and then what's the point in talking to them? Absolutely. Right? And so like I was literally telling them like a hilarious story the other day, but it was going along with my point. And so they kind of captured that. Yep. And so I try to come up with funny stories throughout my life so they can capture what I'm trying to say like this. And so I was talking to Chet, and so I was telling him about my calling. And so he was telling me a little about the internship. He doesn't know like for sure what it is just yet because they've only had one intern. And he doesn't really know what lies there. But he did tell me this, and I thought this was pretty cool. He did tell me this. He said, he was like, I want to share my heart with you for a second, like what God has placed on my heart. He said that when he like started becoming a pastor, or it was like his first like early years ministry. Yeah. He felt a calling to helping people who feel called to ministry and helping guide them through that. And so then he moved here and he kind of stepped away from ministry for a while, I believe, and was starting a business. And then he just felt God calling him towards that, like, hey, like I want you to help people who feel called to ministry and help them take those steps. And so then he came here. He took a part-time position at Concord, being like I think he was like the 4th and 5th grade like director or something like that. And then it kind of like moved him into being the child's pastor because the child's pastor before that, Jason Jennings, who's still there, he's another pastor there now, but he was the children's pastor for a long time. Like he was the children's pastor when I was there, like as a child. He was there for a while, and now Chet's taken over that position. And so he said he was telling me that he doesn't want this intern position to be like, hey, go get this for me. Hey, go plan this. Obviously, as an intern, you have to do those things. Yep. But he said he wants it to be more of a, hey, like I want to mentor you into what you're called to do in kids ministry. Like I want to help you get through it and guide you and help you take those next steps. So I thought that was pretty cool because my dad told me literally before I had this meeting, like most internships is just like them telling you to go grab things and do things. And I was like, okay, so I'll keep that in mind. But Chet said, and I could tell he was sincere about it. Like he wants to help me grow and help me figure out like, hey, what is it that God wants you to do with this kids ministry thing? Now, I don't know what that looks like. He said that he would try to find out some more stuff, and we'll meet again. I don't know what that looks like right now because to be like super honest with you, like I was like thinking about it like a lot, and like I just heard, like I don't even know how to explain this. Like this is the second time this has happened to me in my life. Like I could vividly hear like God speaking to me saying, it's not just your time to leave Kids Connect just yet. And so I don't know how that'll work with the internship. I don't know if I could work at Kids Connect still or not work there. I feel like there might be a way to do that. But I feel like since God's given me that strong feeling of not leaving Kids Connect just yet, but also like pulling me towards that internship, I feel like He'll make a way for me to work at both. And if I can't, then maybe the intern thing is just something I step into later, and keep doing Kids Connect for like a little longer, and then step into that intern role a little later. So maybe that's what I'm called to do. I don't know just yet, but it's a cool opportunity. I was actually gonna text Chet sometime today or talk to him tomorrow and see if there's a way I could do Kids Connect and that, because I'm pretty sure there's a way. But yeah, God's opening doors, giving me a lot of opportunities to think on and try to chase, right? And so it's been a pretty cool experience just seeing what God's can use me throughout life, doing all that. Yeah.
So you talked a lot about opportunity. I want to kind of ask you, is there any like, I don't want to say story because I feel like we've heard a lot of story today, which has been awesome, man.
Yeah.
But do you feel like there's a story in the Bible or like a verse in the Bible that obviously John 10, obviously your life verse is a really powerful statement. It's a really powerful verse for most people to believe in.
Yeah.
What's more like a Bible story or Bible verse you feel like God's been showing you throughout these opportunities? That's kind of been
man.
And I got a Bible right there if you need to if you need to find it. What's something that's definitely been teaching you like to use these opportunities, and like how these opportunities have opened doors for you in your faith and also in others?
So a story that's stuck with me through my entire life is David and Goliath. All right, so David, like as we know, he was a little guy, right? He was small, and Goliath comes in and is terrorizing people, right? He's huge. He's like, there's no one here who can defeat me. And David goes to the king at the time. Who was the king? I forgot who was the king. Was it
Saul?
Saul. It was Saul. Yes, it was King Saul. I was gonna say Solomon. That wasn't right. It was definitely King Saul. He goes to King Saul. He's like, I'll fight him. And Saul's like, bro, you can't fight him. And so David's like, yes, I can. And so Saul's like, okay. So Saul gets him like all this armor, right? And David like puts it on, and it doesn't fit him. Like it's too big because it's Saul's armor. And David's like, dude, I got God on my side. Like I can go fight him like without it. Like I can go get these rocks and fight him without it, right? And so David goes out, gets, I think it was 5 stones. It was either 3 or 5 stones, and he has a slingshot. And he's like, I'm going to take Goliath down with this because I have God on my side. And he goes out there, Goliath's mocking God, and he's like, you really think that your God is big enough to stop me? And David's like, yeah, I do. And so David takes that slingshot, throws a rock at Goliath's head. Sure enough, hits Goliath in the head. Boom, falls, right? David cuts off his head. The reason that has stuck with me my whole life, or at least one of the stories, is because from a young age, I've been smaller and little, and like smaller than everybody else. I've been little. And so my mom always told me, I think she heard it off of VeggieTales, because there's a song in VeggieTales from the David and Goliath episode. Yeah. Little guys can do big things too.
Oh yeah,
and so she's always told me that. And so through that story and through little guys, like that's been my motto. Little guys can do big things too. And so through that, I have felt God like giving me these big opportunities. And like as a little guy, I'm like, oh, I'm taking all these big opportunities. Like I've had many people telling me, hey, you're gifted and talented at music, go chase it. And I'm like, okay. And then I've had many people like thank me for being in their kids' lives, for telling them about Jesus, for just being a positive impact on their kids' life, right? And so like there was a girl who went to Camp 45. I think I met her 2 weeks before Camp 45, because I had we were doing this thing at Kids Connect to raise money to build a well in Uganda. And so they put like, hey, let's have a Young Johnny D concert at this parents' night out thing, because if they see Young Johnny D and what we're trying to do, then maybe those kids will come. And so we had a lot of kids show up, but there was one girl, her name was Haven, and let me tell you, like in my 4th grade class, she doesn't go to Kids Connect, but they talk about this girl all the time. And so I'm like, at this point, I felt like I knew who Haven was because they talk about her all the time.
Yeah.
And so her best friend, Aaron Faddis, right? Aaron Faddis is one kid that I've enjoyed being around the past couple years. Like, I love Aaron Faddis, right?
Yeah.
And so she told me, she was like, "Hey, Haven's coming to your little like, I'm coming too, but Haven's coming to this little Wonder Uganda thing, like the thing you're performing at." And I was like, okay, so like I have to meet this girl now. So she brings Haven, and I'm like, "Oh, you must be the one and only Haven that they talk about nonstop every day." And so Haven's like, "Yeah, that's me." And so she was kind of quiet at first, because it was my first time meeting her. And I actually, like, I brought her up on the stage, because I wanted to embarrass her, because that's how I meet kids. I'm like, I'm gonna bring them up on stage and see what happens, right? And so I bring her up on stage, yada yada yada. She leaves, and then I figure out that she's going to Camp 45, and so we're packing up for Camp 45 and whatnot. And I could actually like pull out the text message while I'm talking about this.
Come on.
But so her mom has me as a friend on Facebook. We're friends on Facebook. And she texted me one day on Facebook, and was like, "Can I give you my number so you can take pictures and stuff and whatnot?" And I was like, "Okay," because she wanted to get like pictures and videos of Haven going down the zip line. And so I was like, "Yeah, I can do that." And so I get her number where I got one of my friends to take a video of me and Haven going down the zip line at Camp 45. And so I sent it to her mom, and I was like, I sent her a video, and she said, "Love it. Thank you so much." And I said, "I hope she has had as much fun as it looked like she was having. I thought it was a pretty fun few days." And she texted back, and she was like, "She seems like she has had a blast. I'm so glad she was able to go. Thankful for counselors like you and Claire." Claire was her room leader. So she was like, "Thankful for counselors like you and Claire to pour into these kids." And I said, "I'm glad she was here. I love seeing kids come to camp and get closer to God. So I love that she got to come and experience it." And she said, "Yeah." But she said, "Yes, I pray that her relationship with God was strengthened, and she gained fellowship with her peers through him." And so I just thought it was cool because she was so that like that was an example of one parent who was thanking me for just being in their kid's life and being like an impact. So I think like I believe that like even as a small dude, like I'm making big impacts on people, and that's what I live for. Like I want to make big impacts in these kids' lives because like I'll be honest, like some of these kids that I have throughout Kids Connect, they don't have the best lives, right? I've heard stories, and obviously I'm not going to share them because they probably don't want me to, but I've heard stories from different kids about their lives, and obviously like my boss telling me like their life and what they come from. And so like my whole thing is like make a big impact in their life. Like if they can remember like the light shining, Jesus' light shining through me to them, then that's all I can do. Because you never know like what these kids are going through, and not even just kids, what other people are going through, right? And so I feel like my calling is to make an impact and teach these kids about Jesus, because you just never know what they're going through, right? So that's just a story that stuck with me, David and Goliath. This is a story that stuck with me pretty much my entire life. Yeah.
That's awesome. Man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So if there's one thing you would want to leave us with today, just a message to anybody watching that may or may not understand, like obviously not just your struggles personally, but things that you possibly have gone through that you've talked about today that they could possibly be going through the same thing, whether it's bullying or just being the short kid or things like that they could be struggling with right now. What is one message you would give to them to help them through that?
So I would say find your confidence through God, but not only that, like find a good, like I'm trying to figure out how to word this. Find like a good godly group of people, right? Because going through high school, I had a good group of people, and like even now, I have a fantastic group of people who I know will always have my back, and it's helped me have more confidence in myself, but also like trusting in God and knowing that He's got you, because when I was getting bullied, I was like why me? Like why am I the one getting bullied? Like why out of everyone in this class, why am I the one getting bullied? Right? And so I would say like find a group of people who will stick up for you and who will help you grow closer to God. And with that, find your confidence in God, because God's always going to have your back. He's always going to be looking out for you. And I've had to teach myself that, because just from like getting bullied and hearing like nasty things people say to me, right? Like God's always going to have my back, no matter what happens. And you got to find a group of people who will always have your back. Like I have one friend who I know, like through the thick of it all, like if anything happens, I know he'll have my back for 100%, like without a shadow of a doubt. I know he'll have my back. And obviously Jacob, because he's my twin brother, he'll always have my back. But you just got to find a good group of friends, right? Like just a good group of friends who will help grow your relationship with God, but also give you the confidence and have your back. I would leave y'all with that.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, man.
Well, hey, I appreciate you coming on. I know we've been talking about it for so long.
We have, yeah.
It's probably one of the longer episodes I've ever.
Dude, if you give me the chance to talk about what I can do and what I'm doing, I love it, man. I love it.
That's the beauty of it, man.
I love what I do. Yeah.
Well, hey, I appreciate you coming on.
Yes, sir.
Man.
Hey, thanks, Paxton.
Shout out to Young Johnny D for hopping on here, man.
Yes, sir.
Y'all better make sure to follow him on any music platform.
Yep, any music platform.
And on Instagram to be staying tuned for all of his latest drops. I know I am. Shout out ETB Basketball. We're finna be blasting this music when we get back.
Hey, single dropping September 12th. Be ready.
Remember that day?
Hey, y'all have heard it here first. Y'all been the first ones to hear. September 12th.
I got an exclusive.
Yeah.
I'm shivering.
Hey, Shoes of Peace, September 12th. So if you see this episode, y'all get to be the first one to know.
That's awesome, man. Well, hey, thank y'all for tuning in. Hope y'all are excited for one more person tomorrow. We got Aiden Towane, one of my guys from Concord College, coming on. But hey, y'all stay tuned. John, pleasure.
Everyday Witness, baby.
Take it easy, man. Peace.
See ya.